What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Peacock's new limited series, Fight Night, the Million Dollar Heist. Let's rock this. Right off the bat, and I may be alone on this, but fuck it, this miniseries right here is absolutely dope. Fight Night is a riveting crime drama thriller that's a bit beefy, so some of the episodes might take some time to digest, but its attention to details in terms of the 1970s costumes, the 70s hairstyle, the 70s music, and the 70s black lingo, it all looks and feels and sounds incredibly authentic, as if you have been teleported back to that specific era. It's as if the show was filmed during that specific era. That's how immensely committed they are to correctly capturing all that vibe down to the last T. As far as the story goes, as I said earlier, some of the episodes might test your patience a bit, but the first three focus more on the heist itself and the aftermath. The middle episodes are when the character development gets to brew and marinate some more, as the gangsters hunt down the perpetrators and as Kevin and Don's characters gradually team up. All the while, there's this overarching intention that permeates throughout, and that is the racial tension and how it affects Atlanta. And so, it's a very complex, very layered story, and one that I find highly absorbing. This is pure, genuine, compelling entertainment. Created by Shea Ogbonna, showrun and executive produced by Shea Ogbonna and Jason Horwich, and executive produced by Kevin Hart and Will Packer, and directed by Craig Brewer. Fight Night, the Million Dollar Heist, based on the acclaimed iHeart true crime podcast, follows the infamous story of how an armed robbery on the night of Muhammad Ali's historic 1970 comeback fight changed not only one man's life, but ultimately transformed Atlanta into the Black Mecca, when a hustler named Chicken Man hosts an after party to celebrate the fight with a guest list of the country's wealthiest. The night ends with the most brazen criminal underworld heist in Atlanta's history. Suspected of masterminding the crime, Chicken Man is hell-bent on clearing his name, but must convince his old adversary, J.D. Hudson, one of the first black detectives in the city's desegregated police force, who is tasked with bringing those responsible to justice. Starring Kevin Hart, Samuel L. Jackson, Taraji P. Henson, Don Cheadle, Terrence Howard, Chloe Bailey, and Dexter Darden. The way that director Craig Brewer approaches it, and the way that he sets the tone in the first few episodes, kinda sorta takes a page out of the Martin Scorsese playbook, but without losing sight of their own flavor. Make no mistake, this is very much an adult-centric show. Characters get killed off left and right, and some of the gangsters, including the one Sam Jackson embodies, could put the fear of God into you. Not to mention, one of the people who does the heist has a really short fuse. But there are some elements of humor about it as well. It pops up every now and then, without it minimizing the gravity of the situation at hand. This is another attempt by Kevin Hart to prove to the world that he can be taken seriously as a serious actor. You previously saw him behaving like Ocean's 11 George Clooney in the movie Lift, which didn't quite nail it, but nice try though. But here on Fight Night, he kind of fits the part really well because the guy that he plays, Chicken Man, also wants to be the big shot. He doesn't want to be seen as a joke anymore. He wants to be the hustler. He is so desperate for that respect. I think Kevin sees a part of himself in Chicken Man, and so his performance definitely comes across as effortlessly convincing. Everybody's probably gonna be buzzing a lot about Terrence Howard's funny-looking Farrah Fawcett hairstyle, which is understandable because that wig just totally sticks out. But equally noticeable is the man whom Kevin Hart shares the most screen time with, Oscar nominee Don Cheadle. His character arc as Detective J.D. Hudson is so full and intriguing and at times explosive, and Don executes it to perfection, and he carries just the right amount of gravitas for the role. Don makes it so easy for us to be on his corner from start to finish. Speaking of corner, Dexter Darden, who plays Muhammad Ali, is a scene stealer. His portrayal of the greatest of all time may not be exactly on the level of what Will Smith did a couple of decades ago, but it's definitely a transformative performance on Dexter's part, worthy of an outstanding guest actor category of an Emmy consideration in my humble opinion. Taraji P. Henson is another one that also floors me. I don't want to give spoilers away, but let's just say that there's a particular scene in the basement in which it takes an emotional toll on her character, and Taraji just knocks it out of the park. She is absolutely fearless on this show. What a remarkable actress, and once again, she continues to amaze me. Above all else, what I find to be most excellent about Fight Night is that the story encapsulates everything. It feels complete. There are episodes exploring the robbers, there are episodes exploring the gangsters. So it's not just about Chicken Man and JD Hudson, although they are the two leads, but we also get to see these other perspectives, if you will, and we get to immerse ourselves in how they're coping with the situation. And so their journeys are just as vital in the grand scheme of things. And so essentially, Fight Night is an epic crime saga biopic that's impressively put together. So yeah, overall I give Fight Night the Million Dollar Heist the rating of 4 out of 5. One of the best and quite possibly one of my favorite miniseries of the year. This is definitely one for the books.